My prosthetic device means a normalcy in life that I can try and regain from before my amputation. The problem, though, is it's restorative and not replacing a limb, and specifically the options of only having one primary leg.
If one day somebody were in an accident and somebody came along and said, you can only have one shoe for the next 5 years to meet all of your needs, wouldn't you think that would be ridiculous? And that's what providers are doing.
Technology-wise, we just don't have legs that are complete. They have functions, and there are different functions in life. Legs that are made for normal everyday use aren't good for athletics. They aren't good for water activities or showering or specific activities. And that is very much limited by our present healthcare environment where they are not reimbursed. Ultimately, I became an amputee 2 years ago and became very interested in the community and wanted to pay back. And so I have embarked on a late career change to become a prosthetic technician. And one of the reasons I did that as well was I wasn't able to get a shower leg. So I learned the skills on how to make myself a shower leg. And that is a pretty extreme activity in order to get around the limitations within the system now.
I know I'm limited by my terminal end options, which is this part right here. You can swap them out for different tasks, but you're limited to how many you can have, which limits you to how many tasks you can do. If I wanted to play something like hockey today, I wouldn't be able to play due to a lack of access to the terminal device.
If I get a ski foot, oh my gosh, I'd probably go hug somebody. But like, those things are so dang expensive, so that's why I can't get one. Also, my leg fell off when I was skiing on the ski lift because it was way too heavy, and then it fell off. And thankfully it didn't hit anybody. So having the proper prosthetic devices do help, because if you don't have the proper prosthetics and the proper devices, they're going to break. With kids, with adults, they're gonna break down at some point. It's just a matter of when.
Using my daily prosthetic leg for activities it wasn't designed for is a safety issue. It can break, it doesn't allow the right types of movements, and creates further problems either through broken prosthetics, downtime, having to go back to using crutches, and then the time and repair of the device is also a problem with that. It's important that amputees and limb differences can retain their complete lives. The complete life is everything. And you know, this bill will help allow that.
First would be delays in authorization, in no particular order. Second would be lack of access to technologies, which the insurance industry deems experimental when some of these technologies have been in use for a quarter century or longer. And another thing would be just simply not having access to things that can improve the quality of life and make them a healthier individual. Currently, our amputee population is allowed one prosthesis, one primary device, and there's an across-the-board denial of secondary prostheses, whether it be for showering and bathing, which is a huge safety issue. Then activity-specific prostheses would gain the amputee population to, and it could be things like kayaking, just getting out with friends. So again, going back to the psychosocial aspect as well as physical activity. If it's a specific prosthesis to enable that patient to run or jog or just walk faster, they should be able to do that.
If we don't rehabilitate this population, they are going to be sitting. We can get these people mobile, up, walking around in our community, going to events, going to work, being gainfully employed instead of sitting around at home, continuing healthcare costs. So really the beautiful thing about the orthotic and prosthetic profession is that we get people up and walking.
There is really no difference between mental and physical health. We all live in one body, and so it's all just our health. But we do know that access to devices will help individuals engage in more aerobic activity, which is certainly related to decreased anxiety, decreased depression, decreased panic disorders. We also know that in this country we have a loneliness epidemic. Over 1/3 of adults over the age of 45 last year, 2023, said that they felt lonely most of the day. And so having access to secondary devices will allow people to engage more with their communities, engage more in activities that they love, and hopefully decrease loneliness as well, which is also associated with a variety of mental health benefits.
Our legislation in Minnesota, So Every Body Can Move, is part of a national initiative sweeping across the nation right now. The same goal, the same objective is to make sure that people can move. Movement is medicine. It's an orthotic and prosthetic bill for coverage to increase the access to care for Minnesotans to orthotic and prosthetic devices. There's 4 specific parts of our bill. The first is making sure that our coverage across the board is on par with Medicare. The second is allowing for coverage for activity-specific devices. The third is showering and bathing devices, allowing coverage for. And the fourth is a prohibition against discriminatory practices in the provision of O&P care in Minnesota. In essence, this bill altogether allows the individual to receive the prescribed devices from the physician by O&P professionals in a manner that is consistent with their medical needs, not the insurance company's interpretation of medical needs. Quite honestly, the impact that this will have on the patients that we serve will be significant. We have young children who need their prosthetic device to do more than just walk. They want to run. So I think about how this will ease the mind of so many people, and it's very exciting to think about the patients that we serve on a daily basis and how this will change their lives for the better.
It's really important, having served in the legislature, that you have a time for one-on-one moments with your constituents. I found for myself when I was there, having constituents reach out, sit down and have a conversation with me was by far the most effective. It creates an interpersonal connection. They have a one-on-one FaceTime. They remember people, and you feel more accountable to that when you're on the floor or you're in committee advocating for a bill. The reality is that it's really powerful impact when we have citizens coming in and advocating for something that they truly believe in. And when they're able to get in there and have those conversations and get people fired up, it really makes a huge difference. Google who represents me at MN. Google that, and the first link's going to come up as the Secretary of State's website, and on there, or the state legislature's website, and you can find by putting in your address who your representatives are. And I encourage you not only to call and email them, but make sure you make a time to go up and meet with them at the Capitol or meet with them in their district, as they can really make a huge impact on passing a bill and getting your needs met.
On March 13th, 2024, we will have all of the members of our community, MSOP and Wiggle Your Toes, and the extended practitioners, the extended O&P community in Minnesota at our Capitol in support, all of us together in support of this initiative. Really important. We welcome you to join us if you are able, and we will speak with our legislators and we will talk about the important aspects of this bill.
Join us for advocating in a future
where mobility knows no bound.
Please support the So Everybody Can Move bill for Minnesota.
Because all play starts with movement.